at SF City FC members.org for details on upcoming events that help us make a positive impact in our community. Our community events are open to all SF City members and friends.
You guys film the game right here? If I drop behind you, would that be annoying? Sure.
Yeah, I just don't want anything
In the line of sight. But if we go high, that's cool?
Yeah, if you go like on the roof and go high or something, that's really fun.
Okay. That'd be great.
Yeah, I don't care what's behind me because I never move. I don't move from right here, basically.
Got it.
And I go like here and back.
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Over on the fan, we remember that SF City Show America that supporter owned clubs can be successful by becoming a member today. Visit our merchandise and member services tent near the old stadium entrance and select the membership level that's right for you. Enjoy exclusive benefits and privileges and special discounts at our clubhouse and team store at the yard of Mission Walk.
Oh, yeah. Sorry,
I think about it.
Okay.
SF Youth Soccer, Mission Youth Soccer League, SF Elite Academy, and the SF School.
Andy.
Right.
I mean, some schools.
They were in that.
I know. I get two and I grab them.
It's always from Ireland.
Well, no. So we had two bags, so I grabbed them.
9 points separate Burlingame Dragons and San Francisco City FC, but it doesn't matter because it is a huge rivalry match. And it is live, and it is next, right here at Negoesco Stadium. 9 points separate Burlingame.
I think we can do it.
So let's take this down.
Like a dog.
And is this team set to the 103? The 60, right?
60's down there.
That's a little clear, definitely.
It looks good.
They both look. I thought that was the one that was focused. That was the one that was most focused myself. Alright, so. Alright. So it's recording, right? It's not recording. Yeah, it's recording. Alright.
You want to put it behind us? Oh, no, the guys.
How's that feel? Is that center?
Yeah, it's centered. It's just coming off. You don't know how level it is, but it's going. Sean Ramsden. Inside the Arden drop plates.
The supporters are ready. They're always fired up, and we've got the first half light up and kickoffs after this.
Alright, well, this is happening. Well, it's working.
Just for the terms on 6 to 8 loans, up to $35,000 are available now. Visit FingerPlus.com to get your free no-risk quote. FingerPlus is A-class rated by the Federal Business Bureau and proud supporter of SFC.
Yeah. Saturday though, not Sunday.
I actually had a
Ah, you passed it.
I know. I went on a long bike ride and I was like, I'll have one more. But that's kind of, I kind of want to just like get you. Yeah, just like
Reward yourself. Well, you want to change it now? Burlingame FC. You got to play Burlingame FC? Die hard.
Burlingame FC.
That's the guy that wants to.
Good.
Oh, okay, I'm live. Big smoke, dude. I'm gonna just double check on my camera, make sure it didn't get blasted.
The camera's good. I can see it from here. See it? Yeah.
Did it get blasted?
I mean, the tape, everything looks good.
And now, the starting lineup for your SF City FC. Number 1, Taylor Bailey. Number 2, Manny Padilla. Number 3, Christian DeLuna. Number 4, Ben Brewster. Number 14, Cameron Froh. Number 6, Power Ona. Number 8, Danny Kirkland. Number 7, Bryce Marion. Number 19, Foster Langsdorff. Number 22, Davi Ramos. Number 17, Robert Hines. The head coach for SF City is Patty Coyne, assisted by Sean Ramsden, Paul Hart, and Patrick Tenora. And now, ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, would you all please rise, remove your caps, and join us as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem. Singing the national anthem today is Lauren Barbeau, lead vocalist for local acoustic duo Gutter Swan.
Oh, say, can you see
once again, welcome into Negoesco Stadium. My name is Charles Boland, and thank you so much for joining us here for this penultimate and wonderful rivalry match between SF City FC and Burlingame Dragons. SF City, they are wearing gold kits. They are going to be going from right to left on your screen. Burlingame Dragons, they're wearing white kits. They'll be going from left to right on your screen. Burlingame Dragons, winners of the last 2. They have not lost in their last 4 games. They really do have SF City's number. They beat SF City in Burlingame a couple of months ago, 5-0. They line up in a 4-2-3-1 formation. Nico Cordy is the goalkeeper. John Austin Ricks is the right back. JJ Foe Newfaus is the center back. Alongside him, Josh Morton. Tanner Beeson at left back. There's 2 men in front of the back 4. It's Jonathan Partida and Andrew Paoli. And in front of them, Amir Bashti, who is a Quakes Academy product as well as plays at Stanford University. Andrew Balut on the right side, and on the left side is Jamail Cox. Through the middle is Burlingame Dragons' leading goal scorer, Matt Wiesenfarth, that has 5 goals specifically against SF City and 12 on the year. They really got to get him going if there's going to be anything for Burlingame today. For SF City FC, they line up in a 4-2-3-1 formation as well. Manny Padilla at right back. Center back combo is Ben Brewster and Christian DeLuna. Robert Hines at left back. In front of them, the captain who scored a hat-trick last weekend, Danny Kirkland, and alongside him, Ona Power. In front of them is Davi Ramos, the second leading goal scorer of SF City FC, and he's been very influential indeed this season. On the right side of midfield is Bryce Marion. On the left side, Cameron Crow, who scored the go-ahead goal last week for SF City FC against Orange County Soccer Club. Through the middle, Foster Langsdorff for SF City FC. And in goal for SF City is Taylor Bailey. He retains his place for the 2nd game in a row. Corner kick here for SF City. Danny Kirkland off of the corner. It's Robert Hines, and it just skims off of his head in the 2nd minute here. And now Marion swerving the ball in, looking for Ramos, cleared away by Burlingame. The first fixture between the 2 teams 2 months ago, the opener here at home for SF City FC, was a 1-1 draw. Bryce Kaminsky equalizing Matt Wiesenfarth's goal in the 89th minute here. And then 2 weeks later, it was all Burlingame all the time. Route 1, 5-0 in favor of Burlingame in that match. So this is the 3rd game, and I'm sure SF City FC would really like to finish things on a high note. Both Danny Kirkland and Paddy Coyne saying they wanted to do so as well. Robert Hines into the fray, looking for Langsdorff. Keeper comes out, Bryce Marion, and his effort just wide. SF City on the front foot. Burlingame, of course, taking this one extremely seriously as well. They sit in 5th in the Southwestern Division. Both teams will not be able to make the playoffs this year, but a rivalry that's really heated up just about for about a year and a half. Burlingame beating SF City last year 2 times, and SF City defeating Burlingame in the last game of the season 4-0 at Kezar Stadium. There was a pitch mob after. The fans really enjoyed that one, and there's nothing that fires up the fans more than beating a local rival. And so it's been a rivalry that's been built by both sets of fans, and a lot being said, of course, by both sets of fans as well on either end, and a healthy rivalry indeed, one that kind of needs to happen and needs for the PDL success, if you will. And the growth of the game in the Bay Area, it's important to get both teams on the same page. And of course, both sets of players always fired up for this one. As you can see, Manny Padilla going into that challenge all the way back to the goalkeeper, Nico Cordy, here in this first half in the 4th minute. Wonderful, beautiful day here at Negoesco Stadium. There's clouds overhead, but not a lot of wind. And today is a wonderful day for soccer in San Francisco. If you don't know Negoesco Stadium, you should definitely come to a match sometime, it's just 3 miles away from the Pacific Ocean, one of the most western places that you can play this beautiful and wonderful game. Long ball looking for Langsdorff. Crow looking to play Langsdorff in, but back there is Josh Morton, who plays at the University of California, Berkeley. Is going to be a senior. This is the second season for Morton with this Burlingame squad, and really is a cornerstone of this Burlingame team. Really a rock back there. Long ball downfield looking for Matt Wiesenfarth. He is the danger man today for Burlingame Dragons. If they're going to be successful and get a good result out of this, he's got to be on. Now Langsdorff looking for Ramos. Gets a touch. A clear away by Burlingame. Top of the 18. Brought down, or tried to be brought down by Danny Kirkland as he fouls Andrew Balut, who's the second leading goal scorer for Burlingame, and he just has 2 goals. So no one's even close to Wiesenfarth in terms of goal scoring production for Burlingame. And here is Wiesenfarth. Top of the area on the right. Wiesenfarth slips, and so does DeLuna. And I believe the referee's going to be giving a free kick just outside the area in a dangerous position. Wiesenfarth again, creating that just for himself. Closely defended by DeLuna. He gave him a little bit of space, and a slip on the ground there, potentially a nudge, and a free kick here to Burlingame in this opening 6 minutes. Behind the ball is Tanner Beeson and Amir Bashti. Beeson on his left foot, and Bashti potentially on his right. It's just outside the 18. 2 men in the wall for SF City. It's Tanner Beeson into the area, and it's just flicked up and over the bar. Taylor Bailey was kind of caught off his line there. Bailey with his second start in goal for SF City in a row here at home. Replacing Keenan Weeks, plays at the University of Portland. He's gone home now for the summer, so I'm told. Difficult to kind of get the same 11 going in PDL format. It's just a very short season, all the way from May to July. You have to have a certain number of players below the age of 24 here, as this is truly a developmental league. And so many players in and out of the mix all the time. Difficult for us commentators, but we're always up to the challenge as well. Be able to remember names, remember circumstances, and tell the stories of these players. Lovely ball by Corti all the way down the field. He was looking for Wiesenfarth one more time. Defended well by Padilla. Both SF City FC and Burlingame defeated Orange County Soccer Club last weekend. Burlingame on Friday defeated Orange County by a score of 3-1. SF City was a bit of a tougher challenge for them. They went down 2-0 and came back and won the game 6-2. They scored 3 goals in the opening 15 minutes of the second half after getting a penalty on the stroke of halftime. Danny Kirkland with one of his first hat tricks of his career. I think the first is what he told me after. And when I asked him about it, he said it was quite an unorthodox way of getting a hat trick. All 3 penalties from the spot. Now here is Danny Kirkland. He's got Ramos to his right. Here is Davi Ramos just outside the area. Ramos trying to chip the keeper. Oh, and it's just over the bar. Cheeky stuff there by Davi Ramos, but he saw the goalkeeper off the line, and why not have a go from there? Danny Kirkland telling me that he wanted to praise his teammates for being in good positions to win the penalties that SF City won last week. And he said his job is just to put the ball in the back of the net when it comes to those circumstances. So 3 penalties, 3 in the back of the net for Danny Kirkland. And what he believes to be his first hat trick of his career. And covering him and having the opportunity to cover Danny Kirkland for the years that I've been around covering him. Been about 6 years, because he played here at the University of San Francisco. And it's been an absolute delight and pleasure. Now, this is Amir Bashti. Still Bashti! And right at Taylor Bailey. Bailey with an awkward and strange clearance out of the back to begin with. which Burlingame was able to recover into the final third and create that little half chance there by Bashti. He could have done better there, but still, he'll take his opportunities when they come to him. Headed on by Ramos. Here in the 9th minute. Ben Brewster, all the way back to his goalkeeper, Bailey, onto his left foot. And once more, kind of slips while clearing the ball. Bashti in the final third. This is Andrew Paoli, switches the field. Plays all the way back into the feet of his center back, Josh Morton. It's going to be a nice matchup between Morton and Foster Langsdorff today. Morton, of course, University of California. Foster Langsdorff, a back-to-back double national champion with the Stanford Cardinal. Those two very familiar with one another. Similar frames and similar builds between both of those two men as well. As Corti is able to clear the ball down the field just in front of the Soccer Loco sign. Soccer Loco, of course, an official and exclusive sponsor of SF City FC. You can visit soccerloco.com for all of your high-end products on the field, of course. Boots, jerseys, socks, etc. They have been a wonderful sponsor of SF City FC, and we thank them very much. This is Bashti over the center line, looking to play in Andrew Balut. It's going to be a throw in here for Burlingame. Bashti, who of course also plays at Stanford, back-to-back national champion as well. Really loves to play in that number 10 position, just in front of two holding midfielders. Probably one of the more creative number 10s I've seen in a long, long time. Hasn't had the most amount of match minutes that I think that he deserves. He's a bit undersized for the position, but at the same time does a fantastic job when he's on the ball, able to dictate things into the final third, able to play that final ball, and also able to take other players on in 1v1 situations. Burlingame now with possession. This is J.J. Foe Newfaus. And now John Austin Ricks to Balut. Balut out to Austin Ricks again, cleared away by Christian DeLuna. Corner kick coming now for Burlingame. They're going to send Foe Newfaus and Morton into the box for this one. Every single Burlingame player is inside the 18 except for 3. They want to capitalize on this set-piece opportunity. Just inside the first 15 minutes of this game. 12th minute. It's Beeson once more to take it on his left foot. Beeson with the service. Goes over everyone's head. Jamail Cox is there to retrieve on the far side. Cox's ball over everyone's head. And it's going to go for a goal kick. Well, the fans certainly fired up for this one. There's no love lost between the two clubs. The Northsiders singing in full voice about Negoesco Stadium, which is the home of SF City FC this year, the home of the University of San Francisco, and this newly laid turf pitch, which has been here for about just a year. And if you see players slipping on the ground, it's for a reason, because it's an organic sand that's in place here, not old tires that you usually see in plastic fields and artificial surfaces that you see. And so a lot of players do slip, and a lot of players, they have to go at around 70%, is what I'm told by some of the SF City players. They all change their footwear specifically for this field. This is Partida. Plays the ball into the feet of Balut, and he's bundled over. Burlingame Dragons, the affiliate of the San Jose Earthquakes, coached by Joe Cannon in his first year. Also, he is the outstanding radio analyst for the San Jose Earthquakes as well.
but I got a chance to interview him before the season started. He was cautiously optimistic. I wasn't sure how the whole coaching thing was going to go for him. And he's someone that has a lot of feeling and thoughts about things. This is Bashti, and now Cox, and it's just to the outside of Taylor Bailey's near post there. Cannon in his first coaching gig after coaching a lot of youth soccer at MVLA. But Burlingame with a nice solid 5th place finish out of the 9 teams in the division. They did get to the playoffs the first 2 years of their existence. But Cannon always outspoken and always has something to say. Now the ball falling here for SF City FC. This is Ramos trying to find Langsdorff as Morton and Langsdorff collided, and Morton's gonna have to be checked out here by the trainer. Both of them knocked heads against each other. And certain players exchanging a few words, but it's nice to see Langsdorff giving a pat on the back there to Morton. But Morton is a big piece of this Burlingame Dragons team, especially over the last 2 seasons, indeed. There's a ball sent up in the air, a 50-50 challenge, and clearly both of Foster, Langsdorff, and Morton clashed heads. Still 0-0 the score. Both teams trying to feel one another out.
Thanks.
Not really an ebb and a flow just yet to this match. A couple half chances to SF City and a couple chances to Burlingame as well. Morton still being tended to and being looked at by the trainers just around central midfield. And a yellow card comes out, and I believe it may be to Danny Kirkland for dissent towards the referee. But a long delay here as Morton is being looked at by the referee. The referee taking his time, and the stadium announcer, George Pelham, who is the father of Jacques Pelham, the president of SF City FC, saying that yellow card was issued to Foster Langsdorff. I think the referee was in a bit of an awkward position between the two of them. As Morton's back up on his feet. And being taken off. Langsdorff with the yellow card. Morton being tended to on the far side. I doubt he's going to be able to come back on here, but a nasty head collision. As Burlingame's going to have to make a substitution, and they will. Currently playing with 10 men. And they're going to make the substitution now. I believe it's Riley Camden now on the field. Very difficult challenge there for Morton, because Morton is a huge piece of this team defensively for Burlingame and really holds it down back there. Long ball sent in, looking for Langsdorf, who's able to get there on the left side. Here he is, plays the ball into the feet of Crow. Cameron Crow is cross, and it's cut out by Andrew Paoli. It's going to be a corner kick now for SF City FC, as Ramos and Kirkland look at one another, and Ramos nods his head at him. Kirkland, I think, a little bit disappointed he wasn't able to take that corner kick, but the second corner kick here for SF City FC in this first half. Sent into the box and cleared away by Corti there. I believe referee signaling there for offside. Here in the 20th minute, one substitution for Burlingame. Josh Morton withdrawn for Riley Camden in this first half. Morton with a head-to-head collision with Foster Langsdorf, to see if that changes things in the back line for Burlingame, as Camden kind of gets his legs a little bit here. Restart now for SF City, just around central midfield. This is Padilla, who switches the field into the feet of DeLuna. DeLuna's ball over to the left side for Crow, who's able to create a lot on that left side, and Crow bundles over the right back, John Austin Ricks. Restart now for Burlingame. Referees today, Alex Wilsey. At the center of the action, Brendan Chapman on one side, and Asai Balthazar on the other side. Fourth official is Adriana Contreras.
Thank you to classes for being the world leader fundraising for nonprofit organizations and for supporting SF City
Faux Newfaus. Long ball looking for Wiesenfarth, but headed away by DeLuna. Ona Power over the top. He's looking to find Langsdorf. Pushed off the ball by Camden. Fans wanted a call there. They're not going to get one. Beeson for Boschti, who slips on this turf here. Otherwise, he had a little bit of space in front of him. This is Padilla. A nice run from the back. Padilla on his left foot, looking to maybe try to play in Foster Langsdorf. Padilla, about to be a senior at the University of San Francisco. Had a month's break before playing a senior year here on this field. Three current graduates of the University of San Francisco in SF City's starting 11. Davi Ramos, Christian DeLuna, and Danny Kirkland. And two current players that are about to be seniors, Cameron Crow on the left side and Manny Padilla. Bryce Kaminsky on the bench as well. This is Amir Boschti. Lovely ball for Wiesenfarth. And it wasn't that far off the mark by Wiesenfarth there in the 23rd minute. They'll know the score, but Wiesenfarth can turn something on a dime. 5 goals against SF City, 4 of them in the last match in Burlingame, and 1 here on this field against SF City in the opener. Power pushed off the ball by Partida. Restart now for SF City. Doesn't really have a flow yet this game at all, and still waiting for the opener. Langsdorf, he's threw in on goal there, but cleared away by Riley Camden. It's going to be another corner kick to SF City, their 3rd of this first half. The corner kick just moments ago by Davi Ramos was cleared off of the line, parried away by Nico Corti, And if you remember last year's final game for SF City, Danny Kirkland scored off of a corner. This is Davi Ramos into the area and headed on by DeLuna. It's going to be another corner kick, I believe headed away by JJ Foe Newfaus. Another corner kick here. Ramos, he raises his hand. Ball sent in, cleared away at the near post by Wiesenfarth. Kirkland back at the feet of Ramos. His ball looking for Robert Hines, cleared away once more by Burlingame. Here's Davi Ramos. Ramos with the shot closed down nicely by John Austin Ricks. And bundled over there is Robert Hines, and I think a yellow card's coming now. He's going to get a warning for that challenge. Ramos, who actually played last year for Burlingame, and now with SF City FC. There's a bit of overlap. Gabe Silveira, who played for SF City, is now with Burlingame. Ramos into the fray at the near post. Corti is right there again. SF City on the front foot this last minute or two. Beeson out of the back, touched on by Wiesenfarth. Looking for Jamail Cox.
Special thank you to Freedom
Throw in now coming for San Francisco. Robert Hines brings the ball back onto his right foot on the left side, looking for Crow. Crow at the end line, and he wins another corner kick, and that's really good work there by Cameron Crow, being able to make that happen. Cameron Crow in and out of the side for SF City FC. 2 goals this year, and important ones as well. The go-ahead goal last week as he came off at halftime. Ramos into the fray. Davi Ramos punched away by Corti. It's on here for Danny Kirkland. Finds Ramos again, and it's going to be another corner kick. So 5 corners here for SF City FC. Really having a decent time down this left side. Into the area, cleared away by Beeson. Brought down by Padilla on the half volley, and headed away by Paoli. Burlingame just looking to clear the ball. SF City with a lot of pressure in this last couple of minutes. A gentle breeze just rolling in here. The fog is burning off, and it's nowhere to be seen, at least so far. These 1 p.m. kickoff times are perfect, and we've lucked out with nice weather. Now Danny Kirkland steals the ball in the final third. This is Langsdorff, top of the area, onto his right foot for Danny Kirkland as well. Kirkland finds Ramos on his right foot, wants to have a go. It's Foster Langsdorff, and wonderfully worked out from the left, back to the center, back to the left, and through into the middle again, but not turned home by Foster Langsdorff. Almost too cute there by SF City FC. Brewster with the header, brought down by Beeson. Beeson's ball over the top. He's looking for Boschti. Brewster there as well. Boschti floats the ball in over to the right side. Can Balut get there? He can. Defended by Robert Hines. Balut's able to keep the ball in, and Burlingame does lose out there to SF City FC. Cleared away by Austin Ricks. Excuse me, John Austin Ricks. SF City having a lot of success down the left side so far. Burlingame having a lot of success playing into Matt Wiesenfarth's feet and finding him as well. Good challenge on the ground there by J.J. Foe-Newfaus. Power. We don't say his name a lot, but does a lot of the dirty work in front of the back four for SF City FC. Power looking to play the ball over the top for Marion. And a foul on Jonathan Partita by Ona Power. Power, who's made a nice entrance to this SF City squad just around the midway point to partner Danny Kirkland. Just in front of the back four, allows Danny Kirkland to be a little bit more mobile and be able to distribute the ball. And Power is always in front of that back four. Again, being able to break up tackles, play nicely in the number 6 position, defensive midfield role. There he is, cleared away now by Padilla. Long ball over the top. Foster Langsdorff chasing, and Riley Camden keeping the ball in play. Jamail Cox. Ball stolen by SF City here. This is Kirkland out to Crow on his left foot. Crow's cross for Ramos on the turn. Looked well, Ramos, and went for it all there on a half volley bicycle kick. His best Zlatan Ibrahimovic impersonation, I think. And on the 30-minute mark, 0-0 still the score. Still searching for an opener by either team. The game has kind of calmed down a little bit. SF City on the front foot. Burlingame, a couple of good chances on the counterattack through Matt Wiesenfarth. Crow's ball, trying to find Marion, but Riley Camden is there. Settled in nicely to the center back role after replacing Josh Morton moments ago. Brewster's ball, trying to find Marion. Cleared away by Beeson. Power. Now DeLuna, able to switch the field here. Hines and Crow combining nicely on the left side. All over the top, trying to find Davi Ramos. Cleared away by Foe-Newfaus. DeLuna with a header. He rises. And slipping on the field is Partita. Restart just in front of our broadcast position here, the broadcast gantry. Coming up on just 10 minutes to halftime. Headed on by Langsdorff. SF City with another throw inside Burlingame's half. Referee actually gives a Burlingame throw, rather. SF City players protesting that. Headed on by Wiesenfarth into the feet of Amir Bashti. He's trying to turn around, and he slips and receives a challenge there. And a yellow card to Partita for dissent. He looks at the referee with deer in headlights, almost thinking, what did I do that was wrong? And Partita upending Danny Kirkland there and receiving a yellow card. Kirkland on the restart into the feet of Crow. He's been very active on this left side, winning a couple of corners, winning free kicks, really going at the right side here of Burlingame. This is Padilla. Couple of step overs. Manny Padilla finds Foster Langsdorf, who slipped for a second but was able to recover, into the feet of Marion, who slipped for a second, not able to recover. Burlingame almost on the break, trying to find Boschti, but Power is able to keep possession in here. Kirkland down the left side, he's trying to play in Robert Hines. Paoli. Partita, who was booked just moments ago, finds Paoli once more, stops, turns, plays over to the left side, and switches the field very nicely indeed to Beeson. Both number 10s and both number 9s from both teams, the center forward and attacking midfield combo, have been very, very active. Both Davi Ramos and Foster Langsdorf, Amir Boschti, and Matt Wiesenforth. Some of the best in the league, if you think about it. Foster Langsdorf, a back-to-back national champion with Stanford, and coming into this SF City team very late into the season. And just behind him, Davi Ramos, who had a very nice career at the University of San Francisco and has moved on now and is looking for a new home, a place to play. And on the flip side for Burlingame, Matt Wiesenforth, who's just been a sensational player, 12 goals, 5 of them against SF City, and just behind him, Amir Boschti, who, again, we spoke about earlier in this first half. Don't think that he always gets the playing time that he deserves, but today, playing just behind Wiesenforth, that combination, and again, on the flip side for SF City, the other one, really some of the finest in the PDL. Taylor Bailey right there off of the corner kick. Bailey, a quick out here now to Ramos. He's got Crow to his left side. Not enough for Crow to get there. This is Boschti, who is also a double national champion with Stanford as well, trying to play the ball over the top, looking for Wiesenforth, and DeLuna heads away for the second corner in succession here for Burlingame. Coming up on just 10 minutes to go. We're in the 37th minute. 0-0 the score here at Negoesco Stadium between SF City FC and Burlingame Dragons. Brilliant day for football in the Bay Area and in San Francisco. This kind of weather in San Francisco, a bit rare for July. Usually it's windy and cold, but they'll take the weather where it's due. Swerved into the area. Taylor Bailey there once more at the near post. Bailey down the field, looking to find Langsdorf, who's there, able to hold the ball up. Plays the ball into the feet of his teammate Marion, both on the Stanford side and SF City side. Marion sets himself, plays the ball in. Crow rises with a header, and it goes over the head of Danny Kirkland on the second ball. And wonderful stuff there by Amir Boschti, fighting off Padilla. Padilla has to be careful there with his hands as he upends Boschti, and a foul's called around central midfield. I think Boschti wanted a yellow card there on Padilla. Of course, these players know each other all too well by playing against one another at USF and Cal and Stanford, San Jose State, Santa Clara, etc. Now, Jamel Cox, and the ball is cleared away by Ben Brewster. Third corner in succession now for Burlingame, and they win their fourth corner of this first half, almost matching SF City's 5 of this first half. No one's able to capitalize off of the corner, but the first corner from the left side here for Burlingame. It is Amir Boschti to take this one. Stands behind the ball with his hands on his hips. Takes a moment, catches his breath in the corner. Boschti. Boschti's corner headed away by Ona Power. And the shot comes in, and I believe it's Jamel Cox, and it's wayward on that one right there. Packed house here at Negoesco Stadium. Beautiful, beautiful day. Why wouldn't you want to be out here today? DeLuna over the top, trying to find Langsdorf. The Both teams a similar style, a similar matchup, both 4-2-3-1s. And as I had just mentioned moments ago, both teams try to find the number 10 and their number 9 a lot. Their striker and their attacking mid. Speaking of attacking mids, this is Amir Bashti who finds, or looking to find, his number 9 as center forward Wiesenfart. Bashti into the feet of Partita. Partita to Cox, and too much on that one. Referee having words with Ben Brewster here. And I think he's being warned for dissent. '40th minute of action. Power with the clearance. Brought down by Faux Neufels. Partita. Beeson. Cleared away by Brewster. Going to be a throw-in for Burlingame as they send numbers forward into the final third. Is there something before halftime for either team potentially? That's the question. This is Power. And now Marion. Marion Ramos looking for Crow, who was on his horse earlier. Marion versus Beeson, two Stanford players as well. Those two know one another all too well. 4 Stanford players on the field, 2 from each team. Header by Brewster. Power looking to bring the ball down here. Wins back possession. Marion versus Partita, and Partita wins the throw for his team. This is Balut all the way back to JJ Faux Neufels. Closed down nicely by Langsdorff. For the 3rd minute, just coming up on a couple minutes to the halftime whistle here. Brought down by Wiesenfart, trying to take on DeLuna. Those two have been at it all day today. Wiesenfart with a fantastic first touch, and in process, Meg zone of power. This is Bashti! And it's held well and nicely by the goalkeeper, Taylor Bailey. Mir Bashti with a fine chance. Just outside the 18 on his left foot, too. Favorite left foot. Been a bit of a tepid first half, but both teams have had their chances to score. Nothing really breaking the ice, or I guess both teams might not even need an icebreaker because they know each other all too well. Icebreakers potentially overrated for these two teams. This is Bashti, and now Jamail Cox, who scored against SF City a couple of times last season, cleared away by Robert Hines for a corner kick now for Burlingame, their 5th of this first half. Going to be a couple of minutes of stoppage time too, due to the injury of Josh Morton, who had to go off for Burlingame in this first half. Boschti. Boschti serving it into the area, comes off of Taylor Bailey. SF City looking to clear. Newfaus is in there. So is Partita. His shot closed down. Danny Kirkland, can he retain possession? Yes, he can. SF City has numbers forward here. This is Marion. He looks up. He's going to play in Langsdorff. Marion still with possession. Shouts of a handball there. Not given by the referee. He nods that one away. Excuse me. He brushes that one aside, rather, and he calls for the some medical assistance here for Bryce Marion that's slow to get up. Christine Gayoso and her team doing a fine job. Marion quick on his feet. And going to be taken off here just for a moment as we're coming up on the final minutes here of the first half in stoppage time. You'd have to figure there's going to be a couple of minutes of stoppage time for the injury. But a theme for SF City FC has been to score right on the stroke of halftime, as they did last weekend. Could have been a different story if Orange County Soccer Club hadn't given up a goal right before halftime and went in 2-0, but at 2-1, SF City was jazzing to get back out for the second half, and boy, did they really stamp their mark in the second half. 3 goals in the first 15 minutes of that second half. Headed away by Ramos. Throw it on the far side here for Burlingame. I have to think there's around 3 to 4 minutes of stoppage time in this first half. Padilla. His throw doesn't find anybody. Back with possession, flicked up in the air, looking to find Marion, cleared away by Beeson. Shouts of a handball again, as fans thought that Partita potentially handled there on the line. Kirkland switching the field, finds the feet of Robert Hines. Crow's cross, cleared away by Beeson. This is Danny Kirkland. Will he have a go from there? No, he won't. This is Crow. Back to find the feet of Kirkland, excuse me. Boschti bundled over by Ramos. And Partita yelling things at the referee. He should be careful there because he's on a yellow card. As Ramos bundles over Boschti. And Ramos given a yellow card there. So, a couple players on yellow cards. Langsdorff on to his right foot. Newfaus trying to defend against him. Crow, here he is, on for Bryce Marion. Bryce Marion, goalkeeper is out. Still Bryce Marion. He falls on the ground. And right there is the goalkeeper, Nico Corti. And Bryce Marion really should have done better there. He's got to take it on the first time touch, but he tried to bring it back to his left foot. And SF City had a wide open, gaping goal. But Nico Corti and Burlingame doing a fine job defending as Marion took an extra preferential touch there on that foray. Final foray here of the half. Padilla into the area, cleared away by Newfaus. Headed on by Beeson. who reaches over Padilla, and free kick now coming to SF City, just in front of the San Francisco City FC Northsiders that are out there in full force. And when I mean full force, they must have about 75 people on the far side over there. Okay, maybe I exaggerated by about 10 to 20 people, but it still looks like 75 to 100 people out there. They're enjoying the free beer presented by Standard Deviant Brewing Company, which is just underneath the 101 and 280 split, which is San Francisco City FC's lead sponsor today, a local brewing company. And what else? Beer and soccer, they go out very well with one another, or rather, a alcoholic beverage and football go well together as well. Kind of a cooling thing today besides the sunblock and some water. Hands on his hips, it's Danny Kirkland. SF City did score on a break in their last two games here at home. It's a constant theme for them. Danny Kirkland in front of the AR. We're still in stoppage time of this first half. This has to be the last play of the game. Every single Burlingame player is in SF City's, is back inside their own 18. Every single SF City player is up the field except for Ona Power. Danny Kirkland will take this on his preferred left foot, standing over the ball. I'm not sure what the referee is saying, but Kirkland behind the ball for SF City FC. Danny Kirkland swerving the ball in, rising at the back post is Robert Hines, and on the stroke of halftime, it is 0-0 after a very, very entertaining first half. It was a bit argy-bargy for the first little bit here at Negoesco Stadium, but both teams definitely won it, and you can tell a lot is on the line today, regardless that both teams will not make the playoffs. SF City FC, they could potentially be in the U.S. Open Cup next season. We'll talk a little bit about that after the break, but thank you so much for joining us here for the first half. We'll be back after this 15 minutes. Thank you for doing your part in growing the game of soccer in this country, the United States of America, by tuning into this broadcast. That's exactly what you do. At the break, it's San Francisco 0, Burlingame 0. We'll be back with the second half. Don't go anywhere.
membership to our club, match tickets, and voting rights in important decisions. We represent community clubs to celebrate live editions of San Francisco. Please join our music today by heading over to the membership tent and make your voice heard in professional sports. Thank you to our partners at Blues for providing our club with quality products for athletes. City fans, please remember that we will have 3 bank donation boxes at the main entrance for all the home bases this year. It is your chance to help you build the field again. You can also donate to the food bank via the members organization website at sfcfcmembers.org. Every dollar you donate will purchase $5 of food for those in need right here in San Francisco. Campaign Minder is a technology partner of critical elements growing SF. Just sign up for our club newsletter by entering your email on our homepage at sfcity.com. San Francisco City FC will mark the face of 2017 Youth Soccer Tournament. SF Flames Evolution. Contact us today to become an SF City Youth Soccer partner. With a personal run from Freedom Plus, you can score and goal to turn on certified bet to financing and organization. After this game on a fixed-rate loans up to $35,000 on variable loans. Visit freedomplus.com to get your experience, no-risk choice. Freedom Plus is your class rated by the Better Business Bureau and the proud supporter of SF City. Soccer Local is your premier source for soccer's best products and soccer's best games. Shop online at soccerlocal.com to find everything you need to play, watch, live, and love the beautiful game. And local crews can help you look good and perform your best. Sponsor is the world's largest fundraising platform for organizations focused on housing, social change, and proud partner of our club. Grab an official team jersey at the merchandise tent to support SF City and sponsor. Quick, fans, grab your phone and make an update on social media about where you are at today, right now. We need help spreading the word on your post for the best way. Use hashtag SFCity and tag us at SFCityXC for a follow back. We are getting ready to begin the second half. Here at Negoesco, with the score at SF City 0, Burlingame Dragons 0.
Welcome back into Negoesco Stadium. Charles Wolin with you here. 0-0 to score after the first half. It took a while to get going here. Both teams really trying to get a feel for one another in the opening 20 minutes or so. Not really settling in until around the 25th minute mark. Both teams 5 corners apiece. No shortage of set pieces either. But the scoreboard reads 0-0. 45 minutes to play here at Negoesco Stadium as Burlingame kicks things off here. This is Beeson, back to his right foot, but stolen away by Marion. On for Crow. Crow's shot and over the bar. Does very well indeed, Cameron Crow. But it was started by Bryce Marion there. Marion and Beeson, who are teammates at Stanford University. Beeson slipping on his way to his right foot from his left. And Marion being able to read that play well. Crow with 2 goals on the year, looking for his 3rd potentially. Again, the player that scored the go-ahead goal last weekend for SF City FC against Orange County Soccer Club. And another important goal as well against Orange County Soccer Club in Orange County last year, in the reverse fixture down there as well. It's a player that's really come into his own as well. This is Wiesenfarth on the turn and cleared away by Christian DeLuna. And those two going to have a battle in this next 45 minutes, the center back and the center forward respectively. Wiesenfarth able to bring down possession here. Now Marion. This is Tanner Beeson. Beeson switching the field from the left to the right. A fantastic ball indeed. It's on for Balut. Balut now, he slips, and it's going to be a free kick here now to Burlingame, and a yellow card definitely coming for Robert Hines, who went in on Balut. So now that is 3 players booked for SF City FC, 1 booked for Burlingame, and a dangerous set-piece opportunity for Burlingame. Both teams have had their fair share of set pieces and corner kicks, like we had said in the first half, but not really able to bother the goalkeepers too much. We've seen Taylor Bailey off his line a couple of times, but Nico Corti, his opposite number, of course, off of his line at the end of the first half on the best chance of the game to Bryce Marion, that was given the ball with a nice bunch of space in front of him, but elected to put it back onto his left foot. This is Tanner Beeson on his left foot to serve this ball in. Tanner Beeson floats the ball into the area, and it's just saved off the line there by Taylor Bailey. Wonderful chance there for Burlingame. A fine opportunity. Jamel Cox will take this corner kick for Burlingame. Dragons in 5th place, SF City in 3rd place. Doesn't really matter. Swerved in, and it's in the back of the net. It finds the back of the net somehow, and it's JJ Foe-Newfounds. I believe he flicked it on, but rather, it might even be Wiesenfarth. And Wiesenfarth, who has scored 5 goals against SF City FC, 4 in one match, the last match that they played against one another. And it is confirmed that Matt Wiesenfarth did put that one home. So now his 6th goal against SF City, his 13th overall on the year. Something about Matt Wiesenfarth that he must like playing against San Francisco teams for some reason, because 6 of his 13 goals are specifically against SF City in the 3 matches that he's played against SF City. Now a bit of an uphill battle for SF City in this second half as the goal comes in the first 3 minutes of this second half. A lot to play for. throw in on the far side for Burlingame. And that's just the goal that Burlingame wanted to have in this beginning of the second half. A time to score. The first 5 minutes of a second half is always a good time to score. And if you remember the first game of the season here, the home opener, Burlingame scored first and SF City answered in the 90th minute with Bryce Kaminsky. And so far, advantage Burlingame as Wiesenfarth in on goal, headed away by Brewster. Some people wanted a penalty, some people wanted a hard foul by Brewster. But Burlingame able to capitalize on that set piece as the ball trickled in off of the foot of Wiesenfarth. Marion, Padilla. Padilla's ball, it's a nice one. Looking for Langsdorf. Goalkeeper comes out, Nico Corti, able to collect. And with 3 players on yellow cards for SF City FC and 1 for Burlingame, Wiesenfarth already with a goal. Similar themes between 2 rivals and exactly what you want in a match of this caliber, a match between these 2 teams, certainly. Good matchup as both sets of players, again, know each other all very, very well. The Stanford connection between the 4 sets of players on the field. Throw in far side now. This is Danny Kirkland operating in central midfield, and he finds the feet of Bryce Marion, who sends the ball over the top for Langsdorf. Can he get there? And clearing the ball away is Riley Camden once more. Corner kick for SF City, their first of this second half. Kirkland running over to the ball now. Kirkland swerves the ball in. Davi Ramos is there for the free header, and just perhaps a little too high for him to be able to control and put it in the back of the net. But those 2 connecting very well indeed off of that corner kick. Could have done better, but a tough take there, and maybe too much to ask for a player to rise, bring the ball down, and hit it on the half volley after he brought it down the first time. That first touch has to be impeccable. Brought down by Boschti here for Burlingame. Looking to turn the corner. Finds the feet of Wiesenfarth for a second, the goal scorer. Ramos on the left side and defended by John Austin Ricks. Really nice crowd out here today at Negoesco Stadium. Must be over 500, 600 people here in attendance for SF City's final home game of the year. Joe Cannon cheering his players on from the sideline. Shouting and yelling and coaching his players. Again, a first year for Joe Cannon. He's done decently well with the squad he was given, but Burlingame kind of behind in terms of their recruiting players this year. You do have to recruit a lot of players for this division as well, and Coach Patty Coyne for SF City was kind of in front of the curve there this season. But of course, both teams do get their Cal players, their Stanford players, USF and Santa Clara players too, as Boschti's nudged off the ball by Padilla. Here comes SF City. This is Bryce Marion now on the right side. He finds the feet of Davi Ramos. Ramos stops, turns, looks up, plays a wonderful ball, looking for Foster Langsdorf, but right there is the makeshift backup center back Riley Camden, who has done an extraordinary job after Josh Morton was taken off the field in the first 15 minutes for a head-to-head collision with Langsdorff. Marion going at his college teammate Tanner Beeson. Marion in the corner. Marion trying to find some extra space over the end line there. Well, SF City has really kind of found their niche and their groove in the community, if you will, given the fact that there's a lot going on in soccer within the Bay Area, specifically San Jose Earthquakes changing their coach, changing a general manager, a new team, the San Francisco Deltas, coming in the NASL, and a potential new team by the same investor group of the Burlingame Dragons that has not been accepted yet by the USL. And so much going on, really. The soccer landscape in San Francisco and the Bay Area is really much to kind of look at, admire, and there's a lot of different things going on. So as a commentator, it's a pleasure to be able to give you these stories and talk about these players and talk about the landscape. But sometimes it's a bit unsettled and unsettling. However, I do have hope, and I do believe that one day we will have more of a firm idea of what soccer will look like within San Francisco and the Bay Area, because we deserve it, because this is a growing sport. This is one of the most beautiful games in the entire world, and you can see the fanfare and the fans and the people that care in a genuine, real way, especially here supporting SF City FC and the culture that SF City has brought by a specific membership model where fans get a chance to really be part of something very special indeed, part owners of the team. 51% is owned by the fans, 49% is a minority investor group. '57th minute now. Patty Coyne probably starting to think about some changes as Bryce Kaminsky warming up on the sideline here for San Francisco City FC. Going to be a substitution here for Burlingame as Amir Bashti comes off and Gabe Silvera on the field for Burlingame, who had a good game against SF City in the first match 2 months ago. Former SF City player himself, so he knows some of these players and trained with them as well. Scored a couple of crucial goals to get SF City into the US Open Cup in 2015 indeed. Had a brace in that game against Stanislaw United Academica. For those of you that are SF City diehards with SF City history, he's not the only player that overlaps here. Davi Ramos played for Burlingame last season. Had a nice season in that attacking midfield position, but SF City's crucial attacking midfielder, the second leading goal scorer, overtaken, of course, by Danny Kirkland last weekend with his 3 penalties. Robert Hines thrown on in. Ben Brewster's just in front of the goalkeeper, Nico Corti, which he spills that one just there. Quick out now to Jamail Cox. But Marion is there instead, working very hard indeed in this second half. This is Bryce Marion onto his left foot. Still Bryce Marion finds Ramos, flicked up into the air and cleared away here by Burlingame. Hines, who looks to switch the field, doesn't find any of his teammates. Here comes Burlingame on the break. Cox at the sideline, slows possession down, finds Tanner Beeson. Ramos is there, able to maintain possession. And here comes SF City. This is Danny Kirkland. He's got Crow off to his left. Crow's cross, and closed down there by John Austin Ricks. Another throw in the final third for SF City. Hines' throw, headed away by JJ Foe Newfaus. Silvera looking to flick on. And there's Robert Hines once more. Corti is right there. Hines had his first SF City goal last week. Seemed like everybody scored for SF City, including Danny Kirkland, as well as Cameron Crowe and Bryce Kaminsky. I think you'll probably see him at some point in just a few moments from Patty Coyne. Ramos does well to maintain possession here. This is Wiesenfarth, the goal scorer, over the top. Cox had a jump on Padilla just for a second. Burlingame with a lot of pressure on the SF City back line. Can SF City get out of this? Danny Kirkland surveys the field. He finds Robert Hines. Robert Hines into the feet of Crow. Those two have been interacting down that left side all game long. Crow in the corner. Can he find something? Top of the area, Ramos. Shouts of a handball, potentially off of the hand of Paoli. Unintentional, but could have been given a penalty there. After last weekend, you're not sure if penalties ever going to be given again. Saw 4 penalties, almost like Coca-Cola coming out of a Coke machine. You just push the button and it's raining penalties.
Shop online at soccerlocal.com. Find everything you need. Play, watch, live, and love the beautiful game.
Thrown in by Beeson. Wiesenfarth again in the corner for Silveira. And it goes for a SF City goal kick. Just on the hour mark now, 30 minutes to play. SF City 0, Burlingame 1. DeLuna, long ball, trying to find Foster Langsdorff. He's upended by JJ Fonufhaus. Shakes his head and disagrees there. Danny Kirkland now behind the ball on his left foot. SF City sending numbers into the box. Kirkland, nice ball over the top. Robert Hines is there. Nico Cordy is there. Langsdorff is there. Brewster is there. Robert Hines! Oh, and it's just wide! Nice effort there by Robert Hines. And it was cleared off of the line by Corty. Looks like a corner kick's going to be given here to SF City FC. Well, the ball was popped up. It was bouncing around. The goalkeeper comes off of his line there. Looks a bit awkward, a bit strange, and just almost turned home there by Robert Hines. SF City, another opportunity on this set piece up right here by Danny Kirkland, who raises his injured right arm, his broken right arm, playing with one. Ramos with the header, and just over his outstretched header. Does well, again, rising off of that corner kick. Able to get to it, but not able to bother the goalkeeper. Kirkland upended. Gonna restart now. Every single SF City player is up off of the bench. Paddy Coyne with a plethora of options to maybe change his team here. Hines upended on the left side. Gonna be another set piece free kick for SF City. Kirkland standing behind the ball. SF City sending numbers forward. Brewster's in there. So is Ramos. Hines rises. Brewster rises with the header. It's going to go for a goal kick. Ben Brewster is going to be the assistant coach at the University of Massachusetts Amherst. Coming up in the fall, he will say goodbye to SF City next week. There'll be a little Leaford Street Soccer USA, little testimonial match, so I'm told. Don't know all of the details. But a farewell to a player that has just been an absolute rock back there, a Roman statue almost. SF City really missed him last year when he was injured with the ankle injury. He was injured in the SF City Open Cup match. against Aguiluchos of the East Bay. And he missed a lot of the PDL season, but when he came back, he was absolutely terrific. Great leadership ability by Ben Brewster, and he's one of the players that's played at some of the highest levels of any player on this team. Played at the Tulsa Roughnecks of the USL, and he's the kind of type of player that SF City wants to breed, a loyal player that cares deeply in his heart about San Francisco City FC. Danny Kirkland. And now Padilla. Padilla breaking back onto his right foot. Padilla over the top. He finds Ramos. Ramos is able to chest the ball down, and it's cleared away by JJ Foe. Newhouse. Corner kick coming now for San Francisco. This is Davi Ramos. His service into the box. Brewster's there. No one's there at the back post. Langsdorff. Marion. Back onto his left foot. Marion! Oh, and it's saved nicely. Diving to his left side. It's Nico Corti. Danny Kirkland with another corner kick for SF City. They've had about 4 in the second half already. Burlingame capitalizing off a corner kick. Kirkland into the area. Oh, it's at the back stick there. Everybody asking for a penalty because Cameron Crowe was bundled over, but not given by the referee.
Check out StevensCross.com to get a free quote on your personal loan.
With the clearance, and it's going to go for an SF City throw on the far side. Hines looking to find Cameron Crowe. Cleared away by Foe Newhouse. On a tightrope there. Burlingame able to maintain possession. Partida brought down by Hines. Ball was intended for Marion, but here comes Partida. Partida on the turn, on the break here. Padilla, and his clearance closed down. Partida. Gabe Silvera on his left foot, and Padilla. Very, very tight challenge there. I thought the referee may have blown the whistle for a foul, but it's not given. It's going to be a corner kick now to Burlingame. The last corner kick they had, they scored off of it. 68th minute. Silvera. Again, capable of producing a lot. I'm sure he'd like to get one over his former team. Substitutions coming for SF City FC. Johannes DeMarzi and Bryce Kaminsky. And Danny Kirkland chops down Partida. Free kick coming now to Burlingame. Beeson behind the ball. Same thing with Silvera. Silvera behind the ball. Beeson behind the ball. Silvera crosses it in. It's a dangerous cross. And it goes over the bar. Taylor Bailey did flick it over the bar. It's a corner kick now again for Burlingame. Let's see if SF City can get out of this. Burlingame, a little bit of pressure here in the second half. Coming up on about just 20 minutes to go. SF City wants to make the 2 changes. The 2 substitutes are on the far side, ready to go. Sent into the area. Here's Ona Power. Tries to dribble the ball out. Partida, Silvera. His cross into the box. Far side, an offside flag is raised on Riley Camden. SF City able to get the changes on now. Cameron Crowe withdrawn for DeMarzi on the left side. And Bryce Marion withdrawn for Bryce Kaminsky. Kaminsky will play in the target position. Foster Langsdorff on the right. Ben Brewster finds Langsdorff on the sideline. Finds the feet of Padilla. Fantastic ball. Ramos in space. Still Davi Ramos crosses the ball on the ground. Cleared away by Paoli, but so too there is Padilla. Padilla on his left foot. Still Padilla into the area. This is Kaminsky. Power. Now Davi Ramos asking his teammates to get into the fray. Power. Kirkland. Good passing by SF City. Brewster sends the ball into the corner, and it's going to be a deep corner for Burlingame in their half. Entered by Silvera as he tries to clear. Ona Power is right there. As he go on his right foot, not sure if that was an effort at goal or try to maybe switch the field a bit. All the way back to his goalkeeper, Taylor Bailey. Ball hanging up in the wind a bit. DeMarzi able to keep it in. Kaminsky chasing against Faux Newfaus. Does well. This is DeMarzi. DeMarzi ready to put his body on the line there, but I think he might be given a yellow card for that challenge. Good to see Johannes DeMarzi back. He's kind of played sporadically for SF City this season. Had a bit of a gnarly injury in one of the last SF City FC preseason games, which resulted in a strange concussion and a weird head injury that he had. But he's on the field, and he's the kind of player that this kind of game means everything to him. The oldest player on the field, 30 years of age, going to be turning 31 in the fall. And he's one of the longest serving SF City players in the ranks. Was with SF City in the SFSFL and NorCal Premier days, so he's been part of the setup basically since 2014. 3-year stint with the club. Might not start every game, but you're always going to get the best out of Johannes DeMarzi. (1-0) still the score in favor of Burlingame. DeMarzi trying to clear. Bit of space here for SF City. On the restart by the goalkeeper. Again, Burlingame scored 3 minutes into the second half off of a corner kick. It was none other than Matt Wiesenfarth. Brewster is there, brought down by Wiesenfarth. His first touch is just absolutely brilliant. He's always on point, especially against SF City FC. 13 goals scored, 6 of them against SF City FC. Power closed down, finds the feet of Padilla. Padilla looking to get down that right side. He runs into Power. SF City having a difficult time getting out of their back line here. Kaminsky offside. '75th minute. Maybe another substitution or two coming here. Again, Burlingame winning 2 out of 3 last season, and Burlingame and SF City tying 2 months ago in the SF City home opener. And then Burlingame 2 weeks later, just throttling SF City by a score of 5-0. Currently with a 1-0 lead here. Both sets of players know the importance of this game. They know the importance of the rivalry. Kaminsky able to shrug off a challenge by Riley Camden. Riley Camden won that tackle cleanly and surely. Throw in now for SF City, deep inside the final third. Burlingame making SF City work and work hard to try to get something here. And they're keen to go ahead and maybe get one more themselves on the counterattack. But SF City with a plethora of possession in this second half. Again, ball floated in here to Wiesenfarth. Can he get there? DeLuna is there first. Reset now for SF City. This is Padilla. Padilla's ball over the top. Looking to maybe find DeMarzi. Right there is Robert Hines. SF City will win another throw inside the final third of Burlingame. Hines with the throw in, looking to the near post to find Ben Brewster. Hines floated in again. Ramos is there. Beeson heads away. Paoli in there as well as Silvera. Paoli bundled over by DeMarzi. And a reset and a free kick for Burlingame. Just the kind of space they need as we're coming up on about 10 minutes to go in this second half. 78th minute. SF City with 2 changes, about to make 2 more changes. I believe Carlos Carranza is going to be introduced here soon. Kaminsky, not the best of balls to his teammate Foster Langsdorff. Hines in the corner, and the referee on the near side signals for offside. A couple of substitutions coming. Carranza will be, I believe, will be introduced. As well as Mark Joshua. Carlos Carranza now in the match, as well as Mark Joshua, replacing Danny Kirkland and Davi Ramos.
Carlos Carranza for Davi Ramos.
inside the last 10 minutes now. Kaminsky looking to find the return ball for Foster Langsdorff. He's upended. No call, says the referee, and it's going to be a throw-in. Tackle by DeMarzi. Be careful there. Be on a yellow card. I don't think he really cares either. But referee signaling again for a foul on the ground. Taken quickly by Burlingame. Just trying to see the game through. SF City need to put some pressure on Burlingame here in this final little bit. Now, chance on here for Foster Langsdorff. He's through it on goal. Foster Langsdorff! And he misses the goal just wide. Glorious opportunity for Foster Langsdorff at SF City FC to equalize there. Foster Langsdorff, who had a step on Riley Camden there. SF City winning back possession. Langsdorff and Kaminsky kind of partnering. Two center forwards in a changed shape. Little 4-4-2. Paddy Coyne changing his shape there. Langsdorff really should have put that one in the back of the net. Glorious opportunity there by the striker from Stanford. Now in the 82nd minute. San Francisco 0, Burlingame 1. And Johannes Foster Langsdorff sent off there for a second yellow card. The red card comes out. For a challenge on John Austin Ricks. So that's his second yellow. Red card now for Foster Langsdorff. By Hines, brought down by Power, onto his right foot, stolen by Paoli, but won back by Power. SF City now with 10 men. They've got to fight for it and work hard for it. Beeson able to keep possession. Power is right there, top of the area. Given back to Wiesenfarth. Mark Joshua for Power. Back to the feet of Carranza. But Burlingame right there once more. Referee stopping play for offside. Ball kicked away by the substitute, Ray Duart. Wanted a yellow card there as Duart ran into Padilla. Padilla, very chippy in these final moments here. '84th minute. Burlingame looking to see the game through. Carranza, who had won back possession just for a second here, and he finds DeMarzi the outlet. DeMarzi down the right side, nudged off the ball by Paoli. Burlingame throw. 25th minute. Comes off of the feet of Dorwart. Cleared away by Riley Camden. It's around 5 minutes to go now. DeMarzi. Throw in now for SF City. Fancies himself a long throw in. They send some of the big bodies up there. DeMarzi throw in for Brewster. And Brewster's header over the bar. Just 5 minutes to go now, plus some stoppage time. Burlingame in the driver's seat with the foot down on the accelerator. SF City kind of behind the 8 ball here, down 1-0, playing with 10 men. If you asked Joe Cannon earlier in the season if he would like to take 7 points from a possible 9 from SF City FC, I think he would nod his head and say yes. I think if you're Patty Coyne and you're sitting there saying to yourself, we just missed out on the playoffs, we lost to our rivals once at their place and potentially at home, and tied them at home and only got 1 point out of the possible 9. These are the kind of games that SF City needs and would like to win. Because they've improved a lot this year, but these are the games that are the ones that count against your local rivals. Even though Burlingame hasn't had the seasons that they've had the last couple of years, a game like this is a game between two arch rivals, as you can tell. Cleared away, I think, by SF City there, Ben Brewster. It's going to go for a throw-in now for Burlingame. 87th minute. Bryce Kaminsky with a high boot on JJ Fonufaus. Minute of this game. Burlingame, the 1-0 lead, courtesy of Matt Wiesenfarth's goal. 48th minute, off of a corner kick. It was a little flick. JJ Fonufaus was there first, and secondly was Wiesenfarth. Now Bryce Kaminsky, chance here for SF City FC, as Johannes DeMarzi did very well indeed. Well, if Bryce Kaminsky turns that one home, history definitely repeats itself from 2 months ago, and it's a firm bookend to potentially what was something special. Everybody for SF City's up the field. It's going to be taken by Padilla here, crossed in, and no one is there, but not the best corner kick either by Padilla. Minute and a half plus stoppage time remaining in the match. SF City playing with 10 men. Foster Langsdorff dismissed after around 10 minutes to go in this game. Record attendance, I would say, for SF City this season. Throw in now for Burlingame on the far side. Header by Hines. Hines with the challenge. Be careful there. Pats all around there by sets of players. Robert Hines on a yellow card. He's got to be careful. Doesn't want to get another yellow. He would be sent off. Meanwhile, the clock clicks on to 90 here. We've just got stoppage time. Gabe Silveira with the throw in, and I think the fourth official is chatting with the referee, and I believe Sean Ramsden is going to be given his marching orders as SF City's Northsiders singing When the Fog Comes Rolling In on the far side. Beautiful display of fan support on the far side by the Northsiders with their flares, their iron and gold and red flares. They look great today. We're in stoppage time. Rolls over the end line for a goal kick. SF City needs to start this one quickly here. DeMarzi with the ball over the top. Can Kaminsky get there? Riley Camden clears away. It's going to be an SF City throw deep inside Burlingame's half. We're in stoppage time now. Referee wants everybody to get on with it. SF City looking to equalize. This is Padilla, his throw into the area. Headed away by Burlingame. Up in the air and cleared away by Gabe Silveira. So too there's the goalkeeper, Taylor Bailey. Ben Brewster, ball over the top. Looking to find Robert Hines. Wiesenfarth, he's booked as he comes off here. One final substitution for Burlingame. Again, we're in stoppage time of this game. Not a lot of time left. Referee blows his whistle. I'm assuming he's about to blow the final whistle as well. Marcus Simmons now in the match. Ona Power. Brewster able to head onwards. DeMarzi rising. Mark Joshua is there. Back to Hines. Back to Joshua. Joshua's cross, and Nico Cordy right there once more for Burlingame. Just trying to see the game through. Brewster with the header. Second ball won by Power and Mark Joshua. It's a bit sloppy in central midfield after Danny Kirkland was withdrawn in the 75th minute. DeLuna finds Carranza. Carranza's first touch, though, really lets him down. SF City having a tough time. Paoli, his ball over the top. It's a throw-in for Christian DeLuna. And SF City FC, the referee checks his watch. Does not have his whistle in his mouth yet. Power, very, very tired indeed, but able to get the ball to the front for Bryce Kaminsky. Johannes DeMarzi now in the area. Cleared away by Faux Newfaus. Padilla, he's bundled over. Free kick coming for SF City FC. And certainly, this has to be the final play of the game. both sets of fans not very pleased with what was going on. Final free kick opportunity here for SF City FC. This is Padilla into the area. Padilla, the goalkeeper, comes out. Johannes DeMarzi is right there, top of the area. Ona Power, and the referee blows his whistle. The final score, Burlingame does defeat SF City by a score of 1-0. A very, very chippy game indeed here at Negoesco Stadium. Lots of yellow cards all around. Both teams had their fair share of chances, but an intense, dramatic, deep game between both teams. The rivalry certainly does run deep as both sets of players, again, know each other's names. They go to school with each other. That they left it all on the field here in this final game of the Southwestern Division of the Western Conference of the PDL. Burlingame really having SF City's number this season. They won their last 2 games against SF City, one at home and one here. The opening fixture was a 1-1 tie. Matt Wiesenfarth, so much you can say about Matt Wiesenfarth, scoring his 13th goal of the year, his 6th goal against SF City FC. There just must be something that runs deep in the veins for Matt Wiesenfarth, as he clearly understands the importance of this fixture, the importance of this game. And he really rose to the occasion today, very active. He's able to flick on a final ball in this opening 3 minutes of the second half, which was the difference maker between the two teams. I'm sure both teams would settle for a draw. However, a rivalry is a rivalry, and this clearly is one built by both sets of players and built by both sets of fans. It's a pleasure to be able to commentate each and every week for SF City FC throughout the summer and throughout the PDL and be part of this wonderful PDL family. It is such an enjoyable thing to be a part of a small-knit community of players and fans that's growing, and growing in a rapid way, all the way from Fresno to Southern California to San Diego to anyone that covers it here in the Western Conference, as well as Burlingame and, of course, in San Francisco, California. We will be back with you next year as SF City FC will be back in the PDL, plying their trade. Same thing with Burlingame too. Thank you so much for doing your part of growing the game of soccer in this country, the United States of America. By tuning into this broadcast, that's exactly what you do. So, from San Francisco, California, the little city by the bay, the final score, it is San Francisco City FC 0, Burlingame 1. Have a great rest of your day.